Maple TA Lesson 11B, homework question number 4. Noah is writing an exam for his 8th grade students. The exam is worth 100 points and Noah wants 35 questions on the exam. He plans to mix short answer questions worth 3 points and multiple choice questions worth 2 points. Create a system of equations to tell us how many of each type of question Noah can have on the test. So over here on the right, I just pulled out some of the relevant information. He has a test, it's going to be worth 100 points, 35 questions, and we have short answer questions are 3 points and multiple choice questions are 2 points. The equations are actually staring at us in the face. The first thing I see is that I'm going to have an equation with points total, and this one is going to be total questions. So the first thing I need to assign is I don't know how many short answer questions and how many multiple choice questions. So these are going to be our two variables, and we're going to call them X, sure. And this one we'll call Y. If you wanted to do S for short answer and M for multiple choice, that would work too. I just picked X and Y just because. Okay, so the first thing is I want the point total. So that means no matter how many short answer questions I have, they're going to be worth 3 points. So 3 times X tells me how many points total I'm going to get for all of the short answer questions. Then I need to add this to the points I'm going to get for the multiple choice questions. These are 2 points, but I don't know how many there are, so I'm going to times it by Y. And I know that in adding these together, I'm going to get a total of 100 points. Now, the second question says a second set of information is 35 questions. That means all of the short answer questions and all of the multiple choice questions will end up being 35 questions total. So that means all of the X's plus all of the Y's will make 35 total questions. And there's our formulas, or our equations. Now to solve for this, I'm going to solve one of them and then do substitution. And since the bottom one is really easy, I don't have to divide by anything, I'm going to take this one here and solve for X, sure. So to do that, I'm going to subtract Y from both sides. And on the left-hand side, I'm left with X equals, because Y minus Y is 0, and then I have negative Y plus 35. And then I'm going to take our first equation and substitute all of this in for X here. So, and every time I substitute, I want to make sure I put parentheses around that variable so everything goes in there. And so I'm going to highlight this, copy and paste it into here. And okay, so the first thing I want to do is the distributive property. 3 times negative y gives me negative 3y. 3 times 35, I don't have right off the top of my head, so I'm going to grab my calculator, or you could use Excel, and I get 105. So add 105, and then plus 2y, haven't done anything there. Also haven't done anything to the 100. Okay, so on the left hand side I'm going to combine all like terms. Negative 3y plus 2y leaves me with negative 1y, or just negative y. And then I haven't done anything to the 105 yet, and I haven't done anything to the 100 yet. To continue solving, I'm going to subtract 105 from both sides to get rid of it on the left side, and have to do it to both sides to keep it balanced, which leaves me with negative y on the left, and positive 100 minus 105 leaves me with negative 5. And to continue solving for y, I need to divide both sides by negative 1, which leaves me negative y divided by negative 1 is positive y, and negative 5 divided by negative 1 is positive 5. So that gives me the y value. And since I have an equation here solved for x, I can just substitute in this 5. Again, I'm going to put parentheses around the y and put the 5 inside. So I end up with -1 times 5 is -5, plus 35 gives me positive 30. And I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste my equations into here. The first one says create an equation with the number of questions on the test. That's this one. So this one says the number of points. That's this one here. I'm going to copy and paste the number of equations here. And then I'm going to put down the number of short answer questions. Short answer is x, and x equals, what did we get for x? X equals 30. There we go, found it there. And then number of multiple choice questions, I got y equals 5. And we can go up to the how did you do so that I can feel comfortable with that. And it's not answering this. Okay, I just did something off screen really quick to check that. It looks like I had a couple of spaces when I copied and pasted it in here, and that these were capitalized, and it didn't like that. And because I went too quickly, I didn't notice that it was a good thing I did x equals the number of short answer questions, which I picked, and y equals the number of multiple choice questions, which I picked just because it's Maple TA. So I'm going to fix this one by taking out all of these extra spaces that copied over just because of the format from Word into Maple, and I'm going to uncapitalize those and double check there. Okay, so I'm glad you guys saw that there are some formatting things that even the teachers can get wrong, but that you can also see how I can fix it, and you can as well on your own assignment. And now that you've watched this, you won't make those problems or mistakes in the first place.